Hello everybody, once again, I'm Lee Crafton Jr., aka Zoral Chan Less Than Guru, and today I think instead of having one longer video, I'm going to have two shorter ones, a update and a Torg Tuesdays. Actually doing a Torg Tuesdays today because it's Tuesday and it's been a while since I've done one of these. But there's, I think, enough stuff that I want to say that instead of doing the normal long drawn out videos that I normally do, I'll cut this one in half so that way I can focus on the Torg stuff, maybe spend a little more time on it, and then go off into the other games. So having said this, this is the Torg Tuesday video. And what do I want to talk about? I want to talk about a couple of adventures that I've gone on recently through Torganized Play. Here's Mars Video Cat, as well as talk about the latest backer drop that just got emailed to us sometime Sunday night. While I was sleeping, we got a link to the preview, the backer version of Operation Soft Cell. So I want to talk about that as well. So first, let's talk about Torganized Play. Torganized Play, you can watch me as a player every single Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central Time. And that is through on Twitch, and then later it's posted here on YouTube. And that is through Torganized Play, but it's held on the channel Roll, Hit, Die that does also other things, everything from D&D 5th edition to Vampire Masquerade, etc. So there's a lot of wide-ranging stuff on that channel as well. Through Torganized Play, which is kind of the unofficial, very linked with Torg Eternity, is the organization, the campaign organization, that if you want to play Torg and you can't find a game master or other players and you want to, you can look at Torganized Play. They have a Facebook group. They have Warhorn. Use that to sign up for adventures, and then we stream every Wednesday to kind of show you how it is. And there are people like me who are authors of the Torg Eternity books and source books and adventures, etc., that go there to do our games as well. So that's very fun. We have been doing a When Cosms Collide adventure. Got started on that, got through Act 1, and then the Game Master had to go to Gen Con. Completely understand, went to Gen Con, so those of us who weren't so lucky to do that are continuing to play, and Robert, one of the players who we switched Game Masters, and that took us through one of the new Delphi missions for Pan Pacifica. So when Pan Pacifica Kickstarter ended, a few weeks later, we got the downloads, the backers got the downloads to the main source book and the Delphi missions. The mega adventure was still getting some, I don't want to say filler material. There was cutting room floor stuff from the source book that we were squeezing into the back of Operation Soft Cell. So I don't want to sound like we were just trying to jam stupid stuff in there. We were trying to get some really good material in there. So that took a little while longer. But the Delphi Council, Delphi Council missions of Pan Pacifica had already dropped the backers, and we ran through one of those, which I get previews, and a lot of times I will give suggestions, comments, criticism, constructive criticism, that people give it to me for my writing. It's great. But since some of this I've written up to or over a year ago or read, it just pops out of my mind, and I do other things, and then as things are happening, I'm like, oh yeah, that happened. Oh yeah, that happened. And still, since I'm also writing, sometimes I don't have all the time to do those read-throughs. So one of them, I just saw the artwork for it, and then when we played it, it was pretty intense, and we failed. And it's the second Delphi mission that I have been part of as a player that the group failed. The first one was an Aurora Delphi Council mission, Delphi mission, and the second one was the Pan Pacifica one. and that's fine. We in both of them, nobody in the group died. We just kind of failed the mission. And this one was, and I know notice I've been saying the word interesting, but it is to me. I do a lot of thinking, like, huh, what about this? What about this? Why this? Why this? And the interesting thing is in organized play, a lot of times you just bring the character that you want to play. You might get a small snippet about either the title or you'll get the location of where it is. And we got the title, we got that it was Pan Pacifica, so people bring their characters in. We don't a lot of times go, okay, we needed this, we needed this, we need a tank, we need a magic user, we need a healer, we need a thief, etc., a core earther. It's nothing like that. So we bring stuff in, not always knowing what other people are going to be, or sometimes we do bring things in because we just want to play it. And this one, the part that I think is interesting and funny because it did kind of lead to our downfall. And it wasn't one person bringing the wrong character, it's that we were set up in a certain environment. And certain characters were, like my character, was meant, or not meant, had abilities to overcome that harsh environment. And a couple other people had things to overcome that harsh environment. But there was a skill that was needed with inside that harsh environment, and none of us who were prepared for the environment were prepared for the skill. And vice versa. There were people in our party that were prepared for the skill if that was needed, but were not prepared for the harsh environment that it was in. So those of us who were able to get into that harsh environment, who were able to attempt to do those skills, it took us a while, it took us more resources to make a few of those skill checks that we needed to make. But when it came down to the final one, the card that popped up on the drama deck was it was confused. Heroes are confused, which means we can't make or we can't use cards. I didn't have any possibilities. I had some cards that either could have helped me or got traded to other people to help. I couldn't use them. So when you roll really low and you have no possibilities to boost that, you have no card play to do anything, we failed. So we didn't die. We found out kind of what had happened by failure, which was not a good thing, but it's happened twice, and you can learn from those. Role playing games, in my opinion, don't necessarily mean that the heroes always have to win. Sometimes the heroes will fail, and I think that is okay. So that is kind of what the operation that we went on in Organized Play last Wednesday. So Sunday, as I said, Operation Soft Cell dropped, and that is the Pan Pacific Mega Adventure. And I'm really happy that that finally dropped because I was one of the authors of it. My co-authors of Blood on the Blasted Lands were the other authors of that, Brian Reeves and John Watson, and myself. And then some of the additional material at the back. I did some, and some other Torg authors might have done some stuff too. I did 2 sections of that. One of them being a how do gene mods from the source book affect infected and xenogospog, that are people that become infected and then become these horrible gospog-ish related creatures. What happens with the gene mod? So I kind of explained that, as well as Kandandrins are kind of listed in sort of like Edenos and dwarves and aspirants and Keefe Haru and all those other species out there. Kandandrins are kind of defined in what they can use, what type of perk categories they can get, what their maximum attribute are. They have their own Kandandrin perk category, and then they get to choose some from various source books, some with cost, some with conditions, etc. But to make it so that they're viable, but not overpowering. And that's the one thing that I really think we as Torg Eternity authors learned from original Torg. Original Torg had some cosms and realities that came later that were everything and better than previous ones. The ones I look at are Tharkold was everything Cyber Papacy had, but better. The Akashians were really, really good. So I wanted, and we as authors want each one to be viable and have their own kind of thing. And if there's overlap, if one of them should clearly be superior, then there's conditions and things that modify that. So really happy that that came down. Let people get out there, see how it is. The Operation Soft Cell itself is a kind of a moral gray area. There is a organization known as Operation Eris, Discord, the Greek god of Discord, that is they're funded and they work alongside the Delphi Council, but they're not controlled by the Delphi Council. They're independent. And that gives the reasons why Storm Knights don't just kill everybody, is because Operation Eris agents will infiltrate and become moles within the High Lord organizations. So if you as Storm Knights might get captured instead of killed, or if you're captured, you might get left a lockpick or a key, or the gate might be open, or the guards might be looking the other way at a certain time, because the Operation Eris people, if they will not expose themselves, will help Storm Knights when they can. But a lot of times they're at cross purpose, and since they have to go undercover, there is a lot of bad stuff that they have to do to get into that deep cover. And that's kind of some stuff that's going on in Operation Eris. So really, really excited to see the fan base and how they react to this different type of adventure through Torg Eternity. So it's been about 12 or so minutes, and that's pretty much what I wanted to say. But again, I wanted these to be shorter than my normal ones. But take a look at Torganized Play, watch us, and come join us in Torganized Play. And it's just a really good group with a lot of good people. Go to the official Ulysses Spiele Discord, and you can see us going over rules questions and just general thoughts and discussion on anything Torg related, figuring out stuff, giving house rules and ideas, and just it's really good community, and I'm really happy to be part of that. Happy to be a freelance author for Torg Eternity, and I'm loving where it is going. So having said that, once again, I am Lehman Crafton Jr., aka Zorval Chan Less Than Guru, and until next time, I will catch you later.